Evening one and all, 2 races left and the title race hangs in the balance after all the drama and all the controversy of Canada last week. Yasko got within 1 step of his coveted second World Drivers' Championship title. 4 drivers remain in that hunt, but there is the possibility that one will leave Vegas as the king tonight. It's round 8 of 9 in season 4 of Next Gen by JL, and it's live from Las Vegas, Nevada for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And as I have been all season, a warm welcome to Tim, who joins me tonight, whose country has, been through the rough through the last week due to the pretty much ridiculous disqualification scandal at Eurovision. Before I say hello to Tim tonight, here's what's on the pre-race show this evening. We'll take a look at the title fight and tonight's Grand Prix. We'll also take a look at the championship permutations, the latest league news, and potentially a very special Storm sing-along. I'm leaving that one open. Evening, Tim, how are you?
Good evening, pretty good.
So 2 races to go, championship in the balance. Yasko can win it tonight. It's the biggest race of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably say that, yeah, basically. Just yes.
Well, to be fair, I did watch my first Vegas League race last Saturday night, and it was amazing. And if Next Gen has a fraction of the drama that race had, this is going to be the best race of the season by a country mile. We've had some classics this season. We've had Italy. We had Canada last week. We had the opening few races. It's been a fantastic season, I have to say that. But now we're getting into squeaky bum time. There's 2 races left. Of course, next week's the last race at Silverstone, last race on F123. Looking at Vegas, though, it doesn't come across as the best track for racing. But what do you think it's going to offer us tonight, Tim?
I think it might be offering surprisingly good racing. It's like a track you don't expect good racing, but most of the time it still happens.
Well, let's take a quick look at the championship standings after last weekend's race in Canada. Yasko now leads the way by 31 points from Oscar. Of course, Yasko's consistency has been incredible so far this season. Didn't race in Qatar, but he has raced in every Grand Prix since Japan, has finished on the podium in every single one of them for Ducati. Oscar, as we mentioned, moved up to second last week in the Europol. He's on 88 points, finished third last time out. Nikon is also up to third in the RUFT mobile car. He's on 82 points. Bottas in fourth, down 2 slots after his unfortunate retirement last week. It does look like the championship is slipping out of his grasp. He is the best of the rest at the moment. Bafta is in fifth. Marcel, Litwa, Artem and Raza round out the top 10. Cludden, Cuba, Zomzed, Tisley, Forge Flames, AFY, Super Spider, Bulbo, It's Ryan, Domi, Nibbles Biscuit, Alexander Delnick, Tokshane and Oxagrav are the other drivers with points in the Constructors' Championship battle. It can't be won tonight, it will go to the final race. And it is such a close battle between Europol, Chevrolet and Ducati. Europol 10 points ahead of Ducati Chevrolet at the moment. Ducati are in third on 121 points. RUFT Mobile are the best of the rest in 4th position. The 4 teams occupying the top 4 slots are on triple digits at the moment. PHM are in 5th on 71 points after their strong starts to the season. They've sort of faded off in recent weeks. AFY even above. Yaz Heat, Ultratech, Toms and Yusk Fiat rounding out the field. And here are your championship permutations for tonight's race. And how can Yasko win the championship is the big question we have all been asking in the last week. Well, he will win the championship tonight if these following situations happen. If Oscar doesn't outscore Yasko by 5 or more points, which means that Oscar can, at his lowest, finish P8 with the fastest lap, Yasko is champion. If Nikon doesn't outscore him by 11 points, that's P5 with the fastest lap, Yasko is champion. And if Bottas doesn't outscore him by 17 points, that's P2 and higher, Yasko is champion. And of course, Yasko can win the championship tonight if he finishes in front of all 3 of his rivals and will become the first double championship winner in this league. And that'll be a historic moment in itself, Tim.
Yeah, that will for sure be an historic moment in itself. I mean, he is from all the drivers who has driven and more impressive amount of races. He has the highest win percentage. He's won just over 35% of the races he competed in.
He's just been fantastic this season, though. The amount of consistency finishing on the podium in every race. Michael Schumacher, of course, did that in 2002. Of course, it was a substantially longer season, but second in Japan when Bottas won the race, 1 in Austria, 3rd in Italy, 2nd in the Netherlands and Belgium, and then winning in Canada. Only 2 race wins this season. but he's just been the class of the field, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure has been. I mean, if you take a look, he has won 2 races, and I think it's something only 2 drivers managed to achieve so far.
Of course, Oscar is in second position. He's 6 points in front of Nikon. Of course, Oscar's finished second in the opening 2 races. Finished second in Austria, first in Italy when he won the race. A fantastic drive from him. He finished 5th in the Netherlands, 8th with the fast stop in Belgium, and 3rd last week in Canada. And of course, Nikon has had a fantastic last 3 races, finishing 1st in the Netherlands, 3rd in Belgium, and 2nd in Canada. Bottas, however, who's just joined the Discord live chat, well, it's fair to say, has had a very, very poor season when it comes to luck. But do you feel that Bottas should be leading the championship at the moment, Tim?
I think if he would be more lucky, he probably would have.
Well, we've got 13 minutes, hopefully, until qualifying gets underway. The invite should be sent out to the lobby very soon, but we will be taking a look now at the latest team and driver news, and there have been some big stories within the last week. Of course, we last raced on the 10th. We have plenty of news since then. AG77 will take over AFI Evian Racing for next season. He's also taking on a role as team principal at the team for the remainder of this season. So that's the last 2 races, AG77 taking over AFI Evian Racing. News coming on the 12th of this month, that was on Saturday, that Ducati is up for sale. Now that is certainly very interesting after all the drama that's happened to Ducati so far this season, Tim, with their owner changing and the possibility of the team rebranding. What's gone wrong there?
I think the owner change there just messed stuff up, and of course, yesterday was the first more news about the team came in, of course.
Well, we'll come to that in a minute. Of course, Yas Heat will be closed down at the end of the season, reducing the grid size to 10 teams, and that is, of course, to counter the issues we had at the start of the season when attendance was obviously high and we couldn't fit all of the commentators and what not in. Of course, taking a look at the constructors' standings, Yas Heat are down in a lowly 8th place on 33 points. No podium finishes, no fast stops, and no pole positions so far this season. Do you think that decision was made in haste of how the championship has gone for them so far this season, Tim, or has Yas Heat's time finally come?
I think it might have been a combination of those. I mean, the team has been a quite messy team if you take a look. I'm just quickly pulling up the stats here right now, and if you take a look at the races started, it has started quite some races. I mean, 33 races in total, but over the last 2 seasons they have been not having too many starts at all. I mean, last season 12 races, only 7 starts.
Yeah, desperate situation going on at Yas Heat, and of course it'll be very sad to see them obviously closing down. Going to the AFI Evian racing situation, they're rebranding to Citroën Evian Motorsport for Season 5, so a legendary manufacturer is making its way into the series. Scuderia BOF will be changing their name. It's a small sponsorship reshuffle to Scuderia BOF, Tag Heuer from Season 5 onwards, and the Mexican maestro himself, Ryu Zappu, will be taking over the Ducati F1 team from Season 5 onwards, and it will be rebranding to the Pemex F1 team for Season 5. The Mexican maestro and a very good personal friend of mine, Ryu Zappu, will be taking over that team. Hopefully we'll be getting a quick word with him maybe later on. When it comes to driver news, and there is plenty of it since we last spoke to you last Friday night, of course Vic has now joined Ducati F1 team for seasons 5 to 7 as a main driver, so that's a 3-year deal. He is now joined Ducati and will join Pemex next season when they rebrand. AFI Evian will join Scuderia BOF Tag Heuer as their reserve driver for next season. Nexo will join AFI Evian next season on a 1-season contract, and Forge Flames will also join that outfit for next season. Oscar, interesting enough, of course, Oscar is doing a bit of travelling over the summer, so Oscar will not be racing in many of his leagues. He has been demoted to a reserve role at Europol for the duration of Season 5 as he goes travelling around the world, and obviously we wish him the best of luck with that, and we hope he has a fantastic time. Razout stays reserved for Chevrolet Manufacture Group for another 3 seasons, and Tokchane will also join AFI Evian Racing for Season 5 as a reserve. The Mexican Maestro will race tonight for RUFT Mobile. Ryu Zapu is back in business, trying to get a little bit of preparation in for that all-important TRL title decided tomorrow night, of course. And AFI Evian will also wildcard for Ducati tonight. And of course, we were talking with AFI before the show started. We didn't know if he was going to be a commentator or not. But I think with that, we should get to Grip Hook, Tim.
I think we should. And I think we should then switch voice chat, but that's kind of late for it.
Well, no, we're in the right voice chat, I think, at the moment.
We can't unmute them.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
And I think
hold on,
I think it's too late to switch channels.
Fair enough. Hold on. I'm going to just check something here. So I'm not going to get any words with the drivers yet, so maybe during post-race. I'm excited to hopefully get a word with Ryu and Bottas. Of course, Bottas' title hopes out the window, on a thread, basically. He's on life support at this stage of the season after what can only be described as a terrible incident last week in Canada. And he had so much pace in the early stages of that race. Of course, he qualified in pole position by a 10th and 3/4. But it all has just gone so wrong in the last few weeks. And if we look back to his early season form as well, Tim, he was outstanding, wasn't he?
Yeah, he surely was.
I mean, even if we look... Oh, go on.
It's just, well, a shame, I think, mostly as well.
If we look back to his qualifying performances, though, he was third in Belgium. He won the Belgian Grand Prix as well. He has been fantastic all season, but just the luck has not gone his way. Let's take a look at what drivers will be racing tonight. The ones that are down, obviously, to race in driver attendance. Of course, there may be a few more or less, depending on what happens. But before we'll do that, we'll take a look at the weather forecast in Las Vegas. It is 34 degrees Celsius at the moment. It is sunny weather, with a high of 36 degrees and a low of 21 degrees. And for the remainder of the afternoon in Nevada, sunny conditions will continue for the rest of the day, and wind gusts are up to 20 kilometers an hour. That's fantastic news, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, not too much chaos. Well, I got that one.
Oh, hopefully on track. Well, on the weather, on the side of things, anyway. Well, here are the 14 drivers that are definitely down to race tonight. Of course, some people may not have put attendance down and will race and all that sort of nonsense. So, Nikon Litwa, Bottas Marcus, Yasko, Forge Flames, AFY, Oscar, Bath Destroyer, Cuba, Ryu, Tokchane, Artem, and Ryan are officially down to race tonight. The two tentatives are Marcel and Vic, and Marcel is hosting the lobby tonight and will be racing. Tim, final thoughts before we go on a little break?
I think it probably will turn out to be a spectacle in either way.
Thanks, Tim. We'll see you all in a few minutes, but it is D-Day in the championship. Vegas might crown a champion. Will it be Yasko getting his second world title tonight, or will he have to wait until Silverstone next Friday? We'll see you in a few minutes for qualifying. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome along to qualifying for round 8 of 9. It is the Las Vegas Grand Prix in Nevada. If you were listening to the voice chat, you would have heard me sing some songs. Maybe we'll have a sing-along if we have a red flag or any other issues this weekend. Evening to everyone listening to us, evening to everyone watching us, and of course, a big welcome along to Tim, qualifying about to start in what is the biggest race of the season, my friend. Is Jaska going to do it tonight, though?
I think he might be able to do it. We know he doesn't need a win. He just doesn't need to be out. If he gets stage ahead of all of his competitors, he wins it. No matter where.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Yeah, well, of course, that was what I was going to go and say. Of course, if Jaska does finish in front of his other three contenders, Skyscap, Nikon, and Oscar, then he is champion for the second time. You mentioned how historic a feat it would be if Jasko became the first double champion, and of course the final champion on F123. Less than 2 weeks to go now until F124 comes out, at least on the 28th release. We have movement at the end of the pit lane, though. 17.5 minutes left in the session, and the first driver to come out tonight is the PHM of Bath Destroyer. Of course, Vegas, technically a very tricky track. I love the alliteration on that.
Yeah.
A very hard track to get right.
And a couple of teams with a special livery for tonight. As in,
yeah,
I
of
think
course.
2 teams it is.
Yeah, there's a McLaren-looking livery behind.
Yeah, I know.
Behind Bath Destroyer, Cuba, obviously repping a very papaya-looking livery. That's for sure. The Bumblebee car is behind him. Then that's Artem.
Yeah, with Artem the Bath with blue, quite some blue on it.
Yeah, of course, the special liveries are always very fun, of course, to see what the team principals and the drivers come up with, to see how their cars can look. And there are, I've said it before, Tim, there are some beautiful liveries on this grid.
Yeah, what's currently your favourite one? That's currently...
My favourite one, I have to say, I've always liked the Chevrolet livery. The Chevrolet livery slaps. I also like the RUFT mobile car. That is a very nice livery.
It's nothing too special, and yet it's very good looking.
Yeah. Tokchnay's just joined the lobby, so Tokchnay will either get a car or will start at the back of the grid. Bath Destroyer will be the first driver to go around the track, and of course heading down the strip past the miniature Eiffel Tower. Of course, Caesar's Palace used to host the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but Tim is addicted to NASCAR Heat 5. And the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm assuming is one of your favorite tracks.
No, I haven't driven that one specifically much. I've mostly loved Martinsville.
Oh, we love Martinsville. We love Martinsville in this house, in the next gen house. Anyway, Bath Destroyer getting ready to go. Starts his first qualifying run into the first couple of corners. He comes third gear in the first corner, rising up the gears and putting his foot flat to the floor as he comes into the long swooping left-hander of 2 and 3. DR is 50 meters away. He will activate the drag reduction system, of course, the rear slot on his rear wing, down the first of many long straights on this track. Of course, it's one of the longest first sectors in F1 in this game, at least. Of course, the driver's setting around times in the 44s and the 45s, so there is a lengthy wait between the start-finish line and the first sector split. Of course, there's the janky little chicane as they go past the sphere there, and then into the left-hander in third gear, just under 100 kilometers an hour. At that first sector split, Bath Destroyer in the PHM sets a 44.550. Following him around the track is Cuba in the, well, I suppose it's a McLaren tribute livery. It's not, but it certainly looks like something McLaren could come out with. Bath Destroyer then had a poor run out of the corner before the strip, and of course, it's such an iconic straight, this, Tim. The strip is just something to admire, of course. All the flashing lights, all the neon, all the glitz and the glamour. Past the miniature Eiffel Tower goes Bath Destroyer at the middle sector split, 1 minute 11.214. Cuba coming up to it as well. He will set a 1 minute 12.153. Into that chicane he goes. Big kick of oversteer there for Bath Destroyer. That chicane is so difficult to get right, and another kick of oversteer coming out of it. Down the long straight before the end of the lap, under the Qatar Airways banner, past the pit lane entrance, and up towards the line comes Bath Destroyer to set a 1 minute 33.790. Cuba will be up next. Sets a 1 minute 34.
Setting a lap, will be completing his lap now.
Well, here comes the Mexican maestro, Ryo Zapu. goes to the top of the timesheets, and that is not surprising in the slightest. This man is different gravy. 1 minute 32.053. The current TRL championship leader could win that championship tomorrow night, making a rare appearance in this league before he turns to ownership, which is always fun. Tim, hope you get a word with him after the race. But it's an incredible lap from the Mexican Maestro, Tim.
And that's Marcel almost the second off, and he immediately goes straight there, but he's just less than a second off, as he's the second one to break into the twos. Nikon getting quite close there, as the RUF T-Mobile cars look quick today.
Well, Nikon obviously needs something magical to happen in these last two races to have any chance of winning the championship. Will Ryu play the team game? He's done it before. He is a very unselfish person. When he is not in the best position, Ryu will be entering the pits very soon. Next up to the line will be Skyscap. He'll be starting a lap, I believe. And then also Oscar's on the line lap. He's coming up towards the strip now. Litwa is also on an out lap as well. As championship leader, Jasko Kirill exit the pits in the Ducati, Tim.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. I mean, let's see what he can do as the future UFC mobile driver.
Skyscap is at snail's pace down the end of the strip, and I'm not sure what he's trying to accomplish. Maybe he's trying to get a bit of dirt. Well, no, he's trying to get a bit of clean air. That he'd like to think that would be the goal. Of course, Oscar is coming up to the line. Oscar also needs a miracle in the championship fight. He will come up to the line and set a 1 minute 32.130, and that's a fantastic lap from Oscar. But here comes Skyscap. Skyscap out of the four championship contenders obviously needs the biggest miracle out of them all tonight, and it's a terrible start to his first qualifying run as he has a big slide coming out of turn 1, activates the DRS as he comes down the first long straight off the track, reaching 8th gear and just about reaching 335 kilometers an hour, braking at the 100-meter board, clipping the apex, running nice and wide out to the wall. Second gear, third and fourth, taking a nice tight line at the kink and then into the fidgety little chicane beside the Las Vegas sphere. And of course, if you're into mixed martial arts, which hopefully a few of our fan base is, Dana White has recently announced that the UFC might be fighting in the spear very soon, and of course that's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That would be crazy, though. It's such a modern piece of architecture, Tim. It's a marvel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, big moment for Skyscap. Sorry, Tim.
Yeah.
And he aborts his lap.
Yeah, that's his lap again. Gone.
So Jasko will be grinning with delight at hearing that. Jasko coming out of the final few corners now to start his first qualifying run. Let's run you through the order so far. Ryu Zappu is quickest at the moment, 1 minute 32.053. Oscar is in second. Nikon, Marcel, Bath, Destroyer, Cuba, and Artem, the only drivers that have really got close. Artem Lizov wouldn't even be in the 107% time. And of course, that's really an outdated rule at this stage, Tim. Of course, the HRTs were in that discussion back in the 2011 Australian Grand Prix. Of course, no team is that slow anymore. Here comes Jasko then in towards the fidgety little chicane, 6th gear, dropping it down into 3rd, 110 kilometers an hour. And if anyone can dislodge Ryu from that top slot, it's going to be Jasko, don't you think, Tim?
Yeah, it must be.
Well, first sector split, here comes the man in the Ducati. It's a 43.818, and if that isn't a statement of intent, I don't know what is. That RUF T-Mobile car is getting very close there to Jasko as he heads onto the strip. There might be a few complaints about that. I believe that is Ryu Zappu. Yeah, that is Ryu. So he'll be going in very quickly. Litwa slots himself into 5th position as Jasko heads up to the middle sector split. He hurtles himself down the strip, 350 kilometers an hour, 1 minute 9.646. This is an incredible lap, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, not too surprising. He is in the championship leader and the reigning champion for nothing.
Well, he did have a small mistake coming into that final chicane, went very wide for the first part, but it shouldn't impact his lap too much. Will it be able to dislodge Ryu from the top of the timesheets? The answer is, you bet your house it is. 1 minute 31.693. Ryu will go again though, Tim. Take us through his lap.
Let's see what he can do. He goes into the pits.
Does he? No, he doesn't. Not on my screen, he hasn't.
Never mind. Wrong person. As Ryu, let's see what he can do as he just starts his lap. He will, of course, he's passing the Ducati, that one of the Ducatis that he, of course, will be looking to improve it, get that top spot back again. As
Skyscap, oh my good lord, what a lap from him. That came out of nowhere. 1 minute 31.655 to go to the top of the timesheets. Back to you and Tim and Ryu.
Well, it's fun to see they're quite close. It's really Zappo, who is tipped to be a quick driver, is quite a bit off. And then the question is, did he make quite a mistake on this lap? Didn't he show his full potential just yet? Or are the others just flying here?
Well, we do have a little bit of a comparison time to go along with the pole time, which was set by Ryu. Well, he finished second in TRL qualifying last week. It was a 1 minute 31.498, which was 4 tenths off the eventual pole position time. So he can improve roughly by another 6 tenths of a second, which would be simply majestic. Middle sector split is a 1 minute 9.511, and he's well on to improve by 6 tenths, Tim.
Yeah, he's just. I think he made a mistake on the earlier lap.
Well, he comes up towards the line now anyway. This man, you cannot put into words how good he is. Up to the line he comes, and this will definitely send him roaring back to the top of the timesheets. It's Ryu Zappu for provisional pole position. 1 minute 31.424. That's a massive statement of intent, Tim.
2 tenths up on the others two who were on great laps. You can't say they didn't have great laps, but if you take a look at it now, you think their laps weren't that good, but doesn't take away from their quality as well.
It's a fantastic lap from Baftastor, who goes into fifth with 1 minute 32.453. He slots into fifth position. Next up is Marcus. Is it? No, it's not Marcus. Sorry, it is. Let me see. Who is that? I can't see that. It's Cuba, is it? Yeah, is it?
Well,
that's strange. Yeah, Cuba is starting a lap, to be fair. Take us through it, Tim.
Cuba just thought, I mean, I honestly doubt he will have the pace to do anything special here. Especially on this track. I mean, I'm not too sure, he might probably had some mistakes on the earlier lap, but let's see. I mean, he's about to complete the first sector, just a couple of corners away from that. Where we then can see what he's up to. And we are seeing it now, and he does improve quite a bit, but it still would not be enough to improve his position just yet. As he's
Big
made a
slide
mistake,
there.
yeah, that's his lap gone. Even if he will continue.
Well, he is staying quite quick as well on the strip. You'd like to think, though, that a lot of time has to be found there. Of course, Artem is in 11th position. It's Ryan F1 is also on a flying run. First sector split, 43.698, and that is very promising.
Yeah, that looks like quite the lap, potentially, if he makes it through all corners. I think he's a driver who is able to do that, so let's see what he can do.
There are genuinely, though, Tim, so many contenders for victory, though, this weekend as Cuba comes up to the line. It is a lap that will keep him in 12th position with a 1 minute 34.291. Ryan hurtling down the strip. It's apparently a purple middle sector. You can't really believe what the game tells you, though.
A 194, was it?
I believe so, yeah. Well, here comes Ryan up towards the line. It's a lovely livery car, that, with the Bonjour Quebec halo sticker on the top. Up to the line he comes and does send it to the top of the timesheets. What a lap that is! 1 minute 31.2.
Another 2 tenths there for him.
This track is so hard to get right that anyone can find any bit of time and utilize it so well. And that is why qualifying is so dramatic around this track, though, Tim.
Yeah, certainly is.
4 and a bit minutes left, then the main contenders will be coming out onto the track in a few moments' time. It's Ryan F1 leads the way with a 1 minute 31.2. What a qualifying run that was from him. Ryu's in second with 1 minute 31.4. Skyscap and Yasko third and fourth. Of course, Skyscap needs an absolute miracle tonight. He needs to finish in second position and hope that Yasko has a poor race. Oscar is in fifth, as if it finished like this in the actual race, he would not be in the championship hunt, and Yasko would be crowned champion. Marcus is in sixth, Baftastor is seventh, Nikon eighth, Charlie's in ninth, Marcel rounds out the top 10. for the Chevrolet team with a 1 minute 32.934. No drivers on flying runs at the moment, Tim. We are getting ready for those coveted, though, all-important last runs, though.
Yeah, sure they will get. As realistically, I think you can say we've got 4 pole position contenders.
Maybe more.
All the drivers,
Depends.
All the drivers in the 131 stage. I mean, yeah, you still got Oscar, but we know from Oscar it's probably not his.
It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag for Oscar.
Yeah, one moment he runs with the top, the other race he's just mid-table.
Well, Ryu will be the first to go out of that coveted famous 4. Well, I say famous 4, only really 2 of them have made a name for themselves. But maybe Ryan will be able to make a name for himself tonight by winning his first next-gen race.
Yeah, of course,
Right.
The second race he competed in, so...
Yes, his first Grand Prix victory.
Yeah, we know we know from the race before he has the pace, he just didn't get it quite out there just yet.
It's certainly going to be a fascinating Grand Prix. All the dynamics, the championship battle also has to be settled. Of course, 26 points will be left on the table after this race. Of course, Ryu, this is technically his home race. He lives in Nevada. He went to the Grand Prix here last season. We interrogated him about it in the TRL race last weekend. We considered the fact that ticket prices are just so extortionate here, Tim.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why.
Well, it is Vegas, to be fair.
Yeah, true. I mean, everything's expensive there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then
As you
you've
go
got like
past
Monaco.
Caesar
Monaco
Palace.
is also
Yeah.
expensive, everything, but the Grand Prix tickets are quite cheap, to be honest. As Nico
Exactly.
puts a 131.8 for P5.
Yeah, that's obviously not
Improving
going to
by
be good
one
enough.
position.
Well, to be fair, it could be enough to keep the championship fight alive. Of course, Yaska is a terrible race. Nikon would need 5th and the fastest lap to keep it going to Silverstone next weekend. But Ryu Zappa will be the first of the championship contenders to go first in this qualifying session. Only 1 and a bit minutes left. What will the Mexican Maestro be able to do? He starts his final qualifying run. Needs to gain exactly 2 and a bit tenths. How can I phrase that? 2 and a bit tenths, we'll say, to get on to provisional pole position for now. Activates the DRS. Ryan's left the session, so Ryan has either disconnected or has genuinely got to go, which would not be ideal, Tim.
No, certainly not.
Well, can Ryu lay down the gauntlet then? Needs to gain 2 tenths and a little bit more at that as he comes past the sphere through that fidgety, as I've said many times before, fidgety little chicane out of the left-hander. 3rd gear, 4th gear, rising into 5th and then into 6th at the first sector split. He is 27 thousandths of a second down. Skyscap will be second, it looks like, unless Yasko passes him on the strip, which he does. So it'll be Ryu followed by Yasko, followed by Skyscap for pole position, and Ryu is now hurtling down the strip for the last time in this qualifying session. Activates the DRS into 8th gear, 320, 330, rising into 340, and then finally one last push to 350 kilometers an hour. He exceeds that. He's 52,000 stand though, and it doesn't look like pole position's going to be his though.
Yeah, he's not improved enough just yet, and the last sector isn't a place you can improve that much, to be honest. Is that's qualifying over? It's both Abarths have their laps done, they won't improve anymore. And
Ryu nearly pulls it out of the bag. 82 thousandth of a second. Slower than Ryan, but here comes Yasko, and this will be a pole position for the ages. He needs to gain nearly 7 tenths of a second to get onto pole position here. Is it too big of an ask, Tim?
for both drivers, I honestly have my doubts. They were able to do it.
First sector split for Yasko in the Ducati. He is 83 thousandths of a second down Skyscap, 2.5 tenths up. And what a first sector that is for Skyscap, who might be about to shock the world. Yasko getting very close to the wall. They're heading out of the strip. Marcus goes into third. Where did that come from? That's an incredible lap from Marcus. We'll focus on him later on. Tokchne has now joined the voice chat, but here comes Yasko, hurtling down the straight. Ryan is back. Yasko, 35,000 down. Here comes Skyscap. He's one and a bit tense up, so it's not going to be enough for Skyscap as he stands. He's lost time in that middle sector. Can Yasko find a miracle, though, in these final few corners? Will get slipstream from his teammate, and how important is that going to be? Here comes Yasko, up to the line. Will it be provisional pole position? The answer is no, but he gets close. Here comes Skyscap, only 4th. And that's qualifying, folks. Ryan is back in time, and is on pole position by 82 thousandths of a second for the Mexican Maestro in second. Yasko, though, the championship leader, in the driving seat to win the title tonight, qualifies in 3rd, and that is job 1 done.
Yeah, I mean, the only drivers that are starting ahead of him aren't contenders for the title.
It's a perfect night so far for Yasko, of course. Even regardless of what happens, I should say, finishes in front of the 3 men that can stop at the moment. He will win the championship for the 2nd time, become our first double championship winner. Hell of a qualifying, Tim.
Certainly was. It was quite an exciting qualifying, and we've got Ryan Zappa on his debut here with the RUF T-Mobile car on second there. And it's of course
Ryu certainly does know what he's capable of, Tim. Ryu is a different beast when it comes to one-lap pace, and his race pace is frightening as well. He did make a mistake, he made a few mistakes in that final qualifying run, and I would, to be fair, tip him for victory in around 45 minutes time. Here's the qualifying order though, for round 8 of 9. Ryan qualifies on pole position for a bar, 1 minute 31.2. Ryu is second with 1 minute 31.282, 82 thousandths of a second off. Yasko and Skyscap occupy that second role in the Ducati and the Chevrolet in 3rd and 4th. Oscar is 5th, he needs a miracle. Marcus is 6th, Nikon needs a miracle down in 7th. Lit with Bath destroying Charlie round at the top 10. A poor qualifying for Marcel sees him 11th, with Cuba and Artem Lizov rounding out the grid. It is an above sandwich at both ends of the field. The race is next.
Let's see what can happen there.
Evening one and evening all. Sunny weather, live at the moment in Nevada. Clear skies at night for this race. Only 2 to go. The championship, as it stands, will be decided here and now tonight in Vegas. It is Yasko's title to lose, and after the drama of what happened last week in Canada, the other 3 contenders, realistically, need a miracle. Good evening and welcome along to the Las Vegas Grand Prix. 1 to go after this one, and 1 race left on F123 before we switch over for Season 5. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box tonight by Tim. Tim, it was an amazing qualifying. Are we in for an amazing race?
I think we might be, to be honest.
Well, of course, it was a dramatic qualifying, to say the least. Ryan qualifying on pole position, Ryu Zappu in second. Crucially, though, the main championship contender, the one that's at the front, qualified at the front of the 3 men who aim to depose him. Formation lap ready to get going. 25 laps to come after this one, of course. Let's take a look at what compound the grid will be starting on today. It is a mixed strategy throughout the field. Ryan and Zappu both on the medium compound tyre. Yasko has taken the decision to go long in the first stint. He's on the hard. Skyscap's on the mediums. Oscar, interestingly in the Europole, has decided to opt for the hards. He of course has 2 races left before he becomes a reserve, before he goes travelling around Europe this summer. Marcus is in 6th on the mediums, Nikon 7th on the softs. Litwa and Bath Destroyer on the yellow wall medium compound tyre. Charlie is on the hards. The last 4 drivers on the field, Marcel, Cuba, Artem Lizov and Tokchne, all on the mediums. Tim, a wide range of strategy. What's it going to be like? What's going to be running through a few of these drivers' heads now?
I honestly think quite a lot could be happening, to be honest. As I think loads of them will be. I mean, Ryan and Rizapa, they both know the other one is quick.
But who is quickest in race trim? I've watched one of them, and I think that Ryu would be the favourite to win tonight if he plays his cards right. Of course, It will be strategic, this race. This is the strip they're heading down now. This is such an iconic straight, despite the fact it's only hosted one Formula 1 race in Vegas. Of course, we're not counting Caesar's Palace. It is such a long straight. And we're going to see a lot of overtakes on it, aren't we, Tim?
Yeah, sure we are.
Viva Las Vegas, it's party time. 25 laps. That at the end of it might crown a champion. Ryan on pole, Ryu second. Jaska and third with Skyscap fourth. It's a bar from RUF T-Mobile, from Ducati, from Chevrolet, and a Europol, the outsider, in fifth.
Yeah, of course.
Nikon is down in seventh.
Europol is leading the Constructor Championship over Chevrolet. And I honestly think Ducati, well, they have two drivers now, so it depends on that. But I honestly think in the end it will be between Europol and Chevrolet, and with the current qualifying grid, I think Europol in general will have it will be good for Europol mostly.
Well, anything can happen here tonight. 14 drivers slugging it out for victory here in Nevada. And we are almost ready to go racing. Ryan's on the pole. Ryu is in second. The championship might well be decided tonight. And we are ready to go racing. We go to 1, we go to 2, and 3, and 4, and 5 red lights. Viva Las Vegas! And we are underway in Nevada. Good start from Ryan. Good start from Ryu as well. Not the best start from Jasko, and he will be demoted down to 30 to turn 1. That's the perfect start for Skyscap, who needs a miracle tonight. He has already gained a place on his championship rival, but Ryan has got the whole shot through the first few corners. Ryu Zappi remains in second with Skyscap in third position. Will the two TRL rivals go to war in this race tonight? Let's find out. Jasko in fourth. Marcus is in fifth. Nikon's up to sixth. It's a terrible start for Oscar, though. He's down to ninth, Tim, as Cuba goes past both Marcel and Charlie, as Nikon is racing Marcus for sixth.
Nikon jumped Marcus there on the start then.
Perfect start though for Ryan, Tim.
Yeah, and horrendous start for Oscar there.
As he continues to fall down the field. And on this first lap, it looks like his championship chances have now officially gone down the proverbial toilet.
Yeah, and I think Skyscraper needs quite a bit, and he's just one position ahead right now. And then of course we've got Nikon, but I doubt Nikon will be able to pull anything.
Oh, incident there as they come onto the strip. Artem has presumably spun out, but here they come down the strip for the first time tonight. Ryu Zappi in the slipstream of Ryan will try and get past and get the lead coming onto lap 2. Ryan defends to the inside. Ryu will not go the long way around. He is of course so cautious as a driver. He will strategize and he will intimidate any of his opponents. Skyscap is just 2 tenths behind him in third position. Jasko happy to remain in fourth position. As it stands, he would be champion for the second time though. Skyscap probably needs to win tonight. Ryan sets a fast lap. Ryu dives up the inside though. Will this be the move for the lead of the race? Ryan will hold on at least for another couple of corners as they will spar coming in towards turns number 2 and 3. Ryan with the perfect racing line to stay ahead. Skyscap getting extremely close to the back of Ryu too though. Here comes Ryu. Will take the lead of the race, and it is the perfect overtake from the Mexican Maestro to get himself into the lead of his first next-gen race, and that is the perfect start for him though, Tim.
Yeah, it is. We see Jaska's been a bit struggling here on the hard top compound, as he seems to be struggling to get them on.
Well, we'll see what Jasko is able to do. Gets very close to the rear of Skyscap. Of course, DRS Chicken will be maybe a very big part of tonight's race. Skyscap will be happy to stay in third for now, but really does need to bridge the gap between himself and Ryan, because we all know how quick the two at the front are. Ryan hits the wall coming into the strip though, and Skyscap's into second, and Jasko's into third.
Ryan just... The question is, will he have damage? Maybe he might have a puncture. You don't know.
This is perfect for Ryu, and not the best news for Skyscap, because Jasko is towing him all the way down the strip, but can't make the move, nor can Ryu to Jasko. But Ryu will now have a second lead coming onto lap 3 of 25 in this race. No major incidents so far. Cuba goes past Oscar for P9. The only minor incident so far at this race is Artem, who had a small collision at the nearly at the end of the first lap. Rise sets the fast lap of 1 minute 35.595. Skyscap has closed up 5/10, so the TRL rivals ready to go to war next gen, as DRS is enabled.
Let's see what Skyscap can do. Of course, he will have DRS, and that will keep him close. As he
Yellow flag because Oscar's around, and Oscar now falling down the field, and Oscar's championship gone now, surely, Tim.
Yeah, and he was the biggest contender there for Jasko. The pain for Oscar must be horrendous.
Dire, oh my god, I couldn't imagine what it'd be like him at the moment. Down in 12th position and struggling. Skyscap needs a miracle tonight. P2 would be enough for him in a certain circumstance. A win would certainly be very nice as well, but as it stands, Jasko would be champion. He doesn't need to finish in front of everyone, but should he get a decent haul of points, he will be heading to Silverstone next weekend as the champion. Here they come down the strip then for the first time with DRS. Skyscap will have DRS on Ryu. Jasko will have DRS the ones in front of them. So will Ryan. What will happen as they head down the longest straight in Formula 1? Skyscap goes to the outside of Ryu Zappu, takes the lead of the race. Jasko will go to the outside of Ryu Zappu, goes into second position, but Ryu sends it up the inside. Locks the front slightly, but remains in second position, Tim.
Skyscap has now got someone between him and Jasko. That will be a bit of a relief, but as it stands, it's not even close to enough for him.
So will it be the Finn, home hero, the championship leader? Big moment for Skyscap for turn 1 there. A massive kick off the rear. Of course, he struggled with that in qualifying as well. So did Ryu, to be fair to him, though. Skyscap does pull out a little bit of a lead, though, as they head onto the first DRS zone of the new lap. Ryu getting increasingly close to Skyscap. Will he send it up the inside? We'll wait until the strip. Litwa goes past Nikon for P5, but Skyscap really starting to struggle, Tim.
Yeah, he had a kick of honesty, it seems.
And another one there as they come into the chicane.
It's not good for him, yeah.
Locking the rears nearly at every corner. He needs to get away, and he needs to get away quick, because this is just going to turn into a cat and mouse game, and this is exactly what Skyscap needed to avoid.
Yeah. And honestly, Jasko's keeping up quite well, and that's, well, not good for Skyscap. We know Skyscap needs a massive gap between him and Jasko, and Jasko just 2 places behind him is just not what he's needing.
Well, he's not getting it at the moment, and this might be the first instance we go 3 wide tonight. Ryu resumes the lead of the race. Here comes Jasko and Skyscap. We'll go to the outside of his championship rival, and we'll try and get past Ryu Zappu as well. Can't do that. But your order now coming onto lap 5 of 25. Ryu leads Jasko in second, and Skyscap in third position as Ryan demotes Skyscap to 4th, and Skyscap now dwindling down the order.
Yeah, Skyscap had a kick of oversteer, I think, again.
He's really struggling on those mediums.
He just doesn't be able to get it done here, and it's not looking good for him.
It isn't indeed, yeah.
Certain that Ryan finally getting past someone there.
Oh, Ryu's around, and that was certainly a turnout for the books. Jasko leads the race, and what on earth happened to the Mexican maestro?
That is a good question. What happened there? As he's all the way down in 11th now, and he quite hard hits the wall while turning, it seems. That's not looking good for the Mexican driver there. And
now Ryan will be in prime contention to take the lead back, and Skyscap will also be thanking the racing gods that Ryu is now out of contention for the win here, because he's now got clear daylight between himself and Nikon in P4, and of course Nikon needs to gain 11 points on Jasko tonight.
Yeah, honestly, doubt anyone will be able to score points on him. Yeah, maybe Ryan, and maybe Ryu Zappu, but he has to come from a long way back now, Ryu Zappu. So his biggest threat, Jasko, is currently Ryan, and honestly, that wouldn't touch him in the championship.
Here comes Ryan though, Tim, and he will fly into the lead of the race. The lead changing every lap on the strip. Will Skyscap dive down the inside? The answer is yes. Jasko will lock the front and will remain in second position. But if you're Skyscap as he hits the wall, Tim. If you're Skyscap, oh my goodness me, he will piss. So Skyscap looks to be out of the championship fight. Nico will go into third. If you're Skyscap at the moment, he's got a penalty too. It goes from bad to worse.
That's true. That's another one out of as it stands, out of championship contention.
They're dropping like flies.
Yeah, it's only Nikon is close now. Will he be
And
next?
Nikon needs a miracle too, because it's now a two-way fight for the lead of the race, when a lap and a bit ago it was a four-way fight. But if you're Skyscap now, Tim, what the hell's going through your head?
I think the frustration must be quite high there. You don't want it to happen, not at all.
Yeah, of course, Skyscap now with that 5-second time penalty. Now it's Yasko versus Ryan for the lead of this race. Still no safety cars yet, 19.5 laps to go as they head towards the first sector split and a few corners before the strip. Ryan leads this race with Yasko in second, and as it stands, Yasko would be the champion.
Is that honestly, unless he comes together with either a car that's catched up or a left car or Ryan, he'll be safe. And I think Yasko knows he has to play safe. If he doesn't get the win, probably won't bother him too much. Of course, he'd love to get the win. If he has to take too many risks, I doubt he's gonna do that. Because he doesn't need it.
He does take the lead again, and Bath Destroyer will go past Nikon. And now Nikon in dire straits, because he needs to get past Path Destroyer. But maybe these two can work together to try and bridge themselves to the front.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. I mean, Nikon, if we've seen his pace in qualifying and the race of all, he is a strong driver, and I think he purely got there by consistency, but he just doesn't have the pace when it comes down to it, and I think that's just the case here and now as well. He has the consistency, but not the pace to be up there to fight for the championship.
And he really struggled to get past Path Destroyer. He made a really suicidal move there. Thankfully for the two of them, didn't end in catastrophe. He is gaining so much though on that straight. And we'll go to the inside and we'll go back into third position. But of course it means naught if he doesn't gain 11 points on Yasko. Ryan though, keeping good pace with him.
Yes, it seems to be between those for the win. As
Oscar sets the fastest lap.
That's quite solid, but he's also down in 11th, of course. He did pit,
yeah.
That's you have to take in consideration as well, but so did Skyskip, of course, and he is still ahead, so... And Ryan is between them.
What the championship would really need right now is a safety car to spice things up.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the circuit why you see safety car happen. Just someone slams it into the wall a bit too hard, and it's a safety car.
Well, can Ryan get past Yasko again? He's got half the strip to go. And of course, the answer is yes. A lead change every lap so far with DRS enabled on the strip. And Yasko is left for dead.
Yeah, yes.
Both drivers' ERS levels are around the same level as well.
Yeah, that one so much as Nikon now gets ahead of Bot Destroyer again. But Bot Destroyer now down the inside.
Contact made! And Litwa goes into the back of Bath Destroyer too.
As I think Bot Destroyer tried it a bit too much, maybe, if you understand what I mean there.
Yeah, the PHM driver going right back into third place, going up the inside into the final corner, and that's certainly an audacious overtaking spot, because that fight between Bath Destroyer and Nikon was a two-way fight a lap ago. Now it's a four-way fight, the exact opposite of what happened between the leading group.
Exactly.
Skyscap sets the fastest lap.
Yeah, all the cars down there, they do have pace, but I think they're too far down to catch up to the drivers ahead.
Yeah, and of course they're losing time by the second, Tim. Of course, battling like this as Marcel goes past Charlie. Contact made. Marcel goes into the wall there. Has maybe sustained a little bit of front wing damage as Charlie will send it right back up the inside to get into 7th position again. But the front two in a league of their own, 6 seconds ahead of Nikon in third.
They're about to head to the strip there. See whether Yasko can continue the lead overtake trend, or whether Ryan can defend from it and keep it.
Well, you heavily doubt it, seeing how long the strip is. Ryan had made the move by this point off the straight last lap, but Yasko still has enough of road to get past, and he moves back into the lead of the race. Nothing Ryan can do there as Bath Destroyer goes into third. Nikon now dwindling down the order. Will Lit be able to make a move on the REF T-Mobile man? No, he will not. But they do make contact, and Marcus might be able to get past now.
Ooh, a bit of a snap there for Nikon.
Yeah, he is really starting to struggle now.
Yeah, of course, on the soft tires. Different strategy, total different strategy there.
Of course, what you love about these 50% races is how different the strategies can get. Nikon was obviously banking on an early safety car though.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him. I probably would have betted on the same, but it didn't happen.
And look how close Litwa is now to passing Nikon. Nikon just about in DRS range of Bath Destroyer, but can do diddly squat with it as they head in towards turn 4. Litwa can't make the move, and Nikon has only gained 2/10 on Bath Destroyer, who's now starting to bridge the gap to Ryan in second, as Marcel will get that move made on Charlie. These guys have been sparring all race long.
And the Skyscraper's catch up to them by now.
He has, yeah. So what will Chevrolet do? Will Chevrolet play the team game and let Skyscrap pass for that minuscule chance of him getting back into the fight for the championship tonight?
I think they
As they head down.
might do that. I mean, he's already pitted as well. He's on a total different strategy. It's only logical to get him past, but first he has to get past Charlie there.
Well, Ryan will get back into the lead of the race, and he gets very close to Yasko as well, as he pulls back into his slipstream. So Ryan will resume the lead of the race once more. Nikon now gaining on Bath Destroyer, and this is a crucial lap for Nikon, and this is a crucial overtake for Nikon. Fair position. Litwa will not be able to make the move, but what will happen down the strip with Marcel, Charlie, and Skyscap? Marcel will sacrifice 7th and 8th position. We have a crash. Yeah. And we don't have a safety car, interestingly enough. As Skyscap will move up to 5th.
They collide again. What is Bath Destroyer doing?
What's happening? Oh, and this is getting very dirty very quick now.
Yeah, as I think Litwa tried to send it down the inside, Bath Destroyer just didn't leave enough space there.
And they make contact again as they go into the pits. So Skyscap is now up to 3rd.
Yeah,
What a lap for him.
I mean, he's still 17 seconds behind, so...
yeah, that's obviously not the best, but it's a crucial lap for Skyscap. And what a lap it was. Marcel goes back up to 4th.
Right now, especially
since
he's on the soft tires, so he has, like, he can pit as well and just be on the same strategy as the 2 cars ahead once again, and that's just, then it'll be just a trick of overtaking.
But Tim, I really don't know how there wasn't a safety car there with that incident.
Yeah,
as Charlie has a terrible run coming through the chicane.
As both RUF cars are together there, as Nikon is the one ahead. But honestly, Nikon is on new tires. That's why I think he got the heads on by Rio. I think Rio let him through, but Nikon is on fresh tires, so it would only make sense if he let him through. As you see the gap growing there.
Well, yes, another move on the strip as Yasko gets back into the lead of this race here. Just joining us, a slightly underwhelming start to this Grand Prix, but it's certainly been a strategy race more than an actual overtaking race. Of course, there have been many overtakes, but the strategy has been off the scale as Charlie goes past Marcel for P4. Tim, we're nearly at the halfway stage now. Yasko nearly has the championship in his 2 hands. What's going through his mind at the moment?
I think he knows he has to play it safe. I think he's a rather calm driver here.
To be fair though, if I were Yasko at the moment, the only 2 words in my head are don't crash.
I think that's like a mentality you should absolutely not have. I know drivers say that. I know drivers know, but I think every driver knows it's a mentality. If you just say don't crash, you know you crash.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to focus on what you're doing and not think too much further, because if you think too much, you know you're gonna...
I suppose though in this case it's only a passing remark, because Yasko knows that he's in the perfect position now, and crashing is of course one of the least of his worries, but it's still nice.
He's in a good position. I mean,
he's had a huge kick of oversteer there coming onto the strip there, so he might be starting to struggle on those hard compound tyres now, as Ryan will inevitably get back into the lead of the race.
Yeah, so I think Yasko will not try any risky moves on Ryan. I think that's why he just stayed patiently behind.
He doesn't need to anyway, so...
He doesn't need to. If he doesn't get P1, he's probably... Of course he'd love P1, but... Yellow flag,
because Ryu and Bath Destroyer came together. Artem Lizov has cut the corner, and Bath Destroyer has now spun on the exit of the second part of the chicane. His race goes from bad to worse for the PHM man, as Marcel goes past Charlie.
And Rio Zapu, he's of course on new compounds now, new hards. He'll take these tires to the end. At least it's the plan probably. As Artem Lizov, he will try to defend that, but he's got no chance.
And Ryu will fly past for P12. It's obviously not the result he was expecting after such a brilliant qualifying. Cuba has been engulfed by Tokchine, as Marcel will pit. And the Chevrolet man will go into the hard compound tyre and change his front wing.
As that will also be his final pit stop planned, probably.
And he will be held up as well. He will be held up by Litwa, who also pits.
As
On
it's
lap
Litwa
12 now.
also that was the final pit stop. Bot Destroyer, Ryu, Litwa, and Marcel all have made the final pit stop. Marcus as well, as he's in 6th. Impressive race from him so far.
Goodness knows what is happening at the moment.
At the front, it's Jasko, who's probably only naturally just gonna get back in the lead again.
And he does, yeah. Flies past again. You were noticing, though, that Jasko makes his moves on Ryan quite a bit further down the strip. Ryan just tends to go in the first half. Jasko leads until the second.
Yeah, as Ryan seems to be running a bit away there, but not enough to get Jasko out of the DRS, as they both go dive into the pits now. They're gonna go for their final.
Oh, they make contact. They make contact. Ryan lightly goes into the back of Jasko there. So the Ducati man pits.
The Ducati man, he's.
Skyscap pits too, so Skyscap will mirror their strategy and nearly slides into the pit lane.
But what is interesting is Ryan was started on the medium, so he is on the hards, and you'd say, oh,
Cuba's out, safety car deployed, and now Skyscap is serving his penalty, and the field will be bunched together. Cuba's out of the race, we have our first safety car. Skyscap goes on to the mediums, but this is the perfect stroke of luck for Ryan, who's now on the hardest compound tyre, and will be able to go to the end. So what will the men in 6th and 7th do? Marcus will pit, so will Oscar in 7th position. And now, Tim, maybe the battle's back on.
I think, I'm not too sure, to be honest. If you take a look at it, I mean, Skyscape has to come from a long way, and Jasko has to fall down quite a bit.
That could still happen, though, you never know. You never know.
That is very much true. But I doubt Jasko will be thrown anyway, but you never know. It is more open than it was, that is certain.
Absolutely. Anything could still happen in this race, anything could still happen in this championship, lap 13 of 25, first safety car period off the race. But I have to say, though, apart from a few minor incidents, the race has been quite clean so far, Tim.
Yeah, true that. As I just see something, as Oscar, who is currently running in 8th, he predicted before the race Cuba would crash out on lap 13.
Is he a time traveler, or is that just a coincidence?
I don't know, but I think his strategy worked with it as well.
I think that there might be a little bit of crash gate going on there. We should investigate that. Flavio Briatore is running secretly.
Flavio Briatore would be like, just.
They copy my flow word for word, bar for bar.
Nah, but honestly, it's just. I don't know what happened exactly to Cuba, but I think it was just unluck.
Unironically, though, I hate Flavio Briatore.
Poor Fernando
anyway.
Alonso.
Yeah. Anyway, the field do bunch up to the safety car now. Jasko followed by Ryan. Nikon will pit. Nikon will change his front wing. Charlie will pit as well. So Skyscap now back up to 3rd, and with his penalty served, might well be able to challenge for the race win here.
Yeah, as Nikon, surprisingly, he's choosing for the soft compound. There's still more than
a lot of time left in this race.
Yeah, there's quite some time left in the race, and same goes Marcus. He also chose for the soft compound and Bot Destroy as well. What I find a weird strategy, honestly.
Well, we're not going to talk about the positions here because there are a lot of variables. But here's how many points the different contenders need. Oscar needs 5, but he's down in 8th, so we can probably rule Oscar out of the fight. Nikon needs 11, he's down in 5th. Skyscap needs 17 points, has to finish 2nd at least. So Skyscap won the race, and Jasko was in 3rd position, for example. He'd only gained 10 points. So if Skyscap won the race, then Jasko would need to finish down in 7th position. And that would certainly be a dramatic conclusion, which would see the title race go to the final Grand Prix in Silverstone next Friday.
As I think from what I can see is that what I hear is Ryan has front wing damage, and right as when he came out of the pits, the safety car of course came out, and then he wanted to repair his front wing, didn't do it.
I think that front wing damage is still from when he tapped Yasko going into the pits, though.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense, to be fair. We will go around one more lap and potentially 2 more laps under the safety car. I'd say it'll be about 1. I'd say Bath Destroyer should about catch up. It's been a dramatic race so far, Tim.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, it's not that shit happened.
That's putting it very bluntly, anyway. Only 5 drivers have actually closed up to the safety car, as it looks like Marcel will piss in the Chevrolet, so that's interesting.
Yes, I think the safety car might just take 1 or 2 more laps, if I'm gonna be honest.
Safety car's never coming in.
It's just never coming, it's just...
Brazil 2012 moment. Yasko would win the championship if that happened, by the way.
Oh, Ryan has been driving with front wing damage almost the whole race. He has
Oh,
got
that's
the
interesting.
damage from lap 2 tap with the wall.
Oh, yeah. When he nearly killed himself going
Yeah.
onto the strip. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough.
When he went from P1 to P4 in 1 moment.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I actually have to commend him for driving like that. He's been fantastic so far.
As I'm quite curious, he was almost able to run away from Jasko when he got ahead on the strip. Then I wonder, would he have gotten
Yeah.
away if he didn't have the front wing damage?
That's the big question. That's the big hypothetical. This might allow Skyscap, after hearing this news, though, to maybe be able to challenge past Ryan.
I honestly,
And get Jasko.
he wasn't that. He struggled to keep up with Ryan.
He did, but let's not forget, though, Tim, that DRS has played such a massive role in this race.
Yeah,
And
and
if
Ryan-
Skyscap does stay to the back of him, he will inevitably be in the fight. Surely. Will the safety car come in at the end of the lap?
Bottas
It
has
should.
front wing damage as well, of course.
Yes, he does. Yeah, fair enough to him as
Now
well.
he doesn't anymore, but he did have it.
Yeah, he did.
So let's
He
see
did. That's
how
what I'm
the
saying,
pace
yeah.
is. We know we got one of our top runners does have front wing damage. We know one of them had, but not anymore. He changed his front wing. I don't know if whether
It's going to be a late call, but the safety car will come in this lap.
There's
We
chaos
will get back.
behind. I don't know how, but there was chaos behind during the safety car
Yeah.
restart. I think they all slowed down all of a sudden because of the safety car restart.
Yeah.
That was unexpected.
So it will be, Tim, it will be 10 racing laps to the end. Away goes Yasko. The Las Vegas Grand Prix is nearly underway. He's remaining in first gear, depleting all his fuel. When will he shift up to second? The answer is... He's still waiting. He's still waiting. He's into third now, and now he's off. And that was a late restart that has caught nearly everyone out, and Skyscap may have timed that perfectly as he goes around the outside of Ryan into P2. And that's a perfect overtake from Skyscap there, Tim.
That was amazing, and he has to do that. I mean, we know. Everyone knows he has to do that, as Nikon is falling down the order, it seems.
Yeah, well, Nikon obviously was caught out slightly by that restart, but is very close to Marcus in P5. We'll go back on to 10 championship points as it stands. 5th place with the fast lap is the lowest Nikon can get should Yasko have a terrible race. We have a yellow flag, and Artem is out, and we have another safety car, and the chaos has begun.
Oh, and it's Rio called.
Yeah, Ryu's in that, yeah. I'm not sure what's happened there, but something's happened to Ryu again, and we have yet another safety car, which means that Skyscap's in second now, and Yasko's in first.
Ryan can finally change his front wing.
Yay! We have a fight again. Hell of a race though, Tim. We didn't even get a full lap of racing. We had around 12 or 13 laps of racing before the safety car, and now we can't even get half a lap. That's the chaos of this track in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, the chances were this would happen. It happened later than expected. I thought there was something would like this would happen early on in the race, but instead of it, it happened like over halfway through.
So, this safety car should be relatively short, but the question is who pits and who doesn't. Yasko will decide to stay out. Skyscap will piss. Ryan will piss. Charlie will stay out, Nikon will pit, Marcus will pit, and Oscar will pit. Europol will double stack. So now the strategy element plays into this one, as a lot of the field decides to pit. And I feel very sorry, to be fair, to Europol, Tim.
Yeah,
because Litwell will fall down the field.
Yeah, Europol. I mean, they're leading.
Or Oscar, sorry, will fall down the field.
They're leading constructors, but this is just been unlucky. Quite an unlucky race for them. And I mean, Chevrolet also had quite some unlucky moments. Look at last race, double DNF.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they would have been well.
And at least Europol is still in this race, so even though they probably might lose out in the constructors fight. Well,
there is still one race to go after this. That Constructors' Championship will go to the wire. That's the only certainty.
Yeah, as Rio, due to loads of pit stops, finds himself in fourth all of a sudden. He's got a bit of an older compound.
So Ryu Zappu was 12th, now is 4th, might win the race. That'd be a turnout for the books after spinning out early on.
Yeah, and I mean...
But I wouldn't put it past him, though.
Yes, I mean, Ryan is all the way down in 8th, but he's on a soft compound. Fresh car, his front wing is repaired. We've barely seen his actual pace due to the front wing damage. So I'm quite curious to see whether he can fight through the grid as well.
Well, this should be a relatively quick restart. After this, we will have 8 racing laps to the end, hopefully.
And so I think the safety car will come in this
lap. Should, yeah, it should.
We might get a really late call again that might cause some people off guard again.
It will be a late call, Tim, because announced around here in the last lap. Maybe it stays out. It will stay out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, safety car's going to stay out. We're going to get one more lap.
I just realized Ducati is on a 1-2 right now.
That would be absolutely incredible.
If they can pull out a 1-2 here, that would be amazing for the constructors.
Yeah, Charlie's gonna play the team game here.
Surely will defend as hard as he can. He knows that Jasko isn't in too much risk for the championship, but still a race win is a race win.
Absolutely, yeah.
And honestly, I think if Charlie can defend really strongly and just keep that P2, that'd be amazing for the team. As all of a sudden, turn of events, they are one of the main contenders for the Constructor Championship perhaps. There's of course now just one of the many teams who could win it. Probably still with it, still quite close, but easily forgotten. They're in third, but this could fix it.
So Jasko leads with Charlie in second, Marcel is in third, Ryu is in fourth. Skyscap is now on the soft compound tyre. He's the only driver in the top 5 on the softs. Of course, Nikon's all soft with the Red Bull soft compound tyre. Marcus is on the mediums, Ryan's on the softs. Of course, Ryan might well be the underdog to win this race.
I mean, he's
Top Cheney's in 9th, Litwa 10th, Bath Destroyer, and Oscar round out the field. I really feel for Oscar as he goes into the back of Bath Destroyer. Oscar has crashed into the back of Bath Destroyer. And I'm not sure what's happened there.
I'm not sure either, but it's not going great for him, that's certain.
No, I feel very sorry for Oscar tonight.
Yeah, I think lots of people do. It's been quite unlucky this race.
And quite unlucky for a lot of this season as well. All of the championship contenders bar Jasko have had very unlucky moments. Jasko's just rode his luck all season long. Safety car in this lap. So Oscar will not get a chance to pit. And we will have 7, hopefully, racing laps until the end of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Will Jasko leave it late? Will Charlie play the team game? Will Marcel let his teammate pass? Will Ryu fight for the victory? So many storylines. One race winner. And at the end of it, there might just be one world champion. Jasko will get us going. It's a Ducati 1-2, followed by a Chevrolet in third. And what will that leading Ducati do? We've seen Chevrolet try to do it in Japan. They got penalised for it. What will Jasko do? When will he go? He builds the throttle. He builds the revs. He's going as late as he did last time. even later as well. Now he goes. What will Ducati do? Will they play the team game? Yasko leads from Charlie in second.
Look at what Charlie just held them back a bit further and then just...
Ryan, sorry Tim, has already made up a spot as Marcus goes past again. And Ryan then dives up the inside to go into 7th position. Skyscap needs the perfect restart here, but Yasko crucially has pulled out a second lead. And if it stayed like this, he will be the champion by a country mile.
Yeah, quite important for him here.
Nikon passed by Ryan, they do make contact. Ryan has had an absolutely scintillating restart. He's up from 8th to 6th on the soft compound tyres in the Abarth. Skyscap and Ryu really struggling here as Charlie is just parking the bus like prime Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, it looks like he's absolutely playing the team game. He tried to get away there, he realized he isn't able to do that, and he's just defending now.
Yeah, and that's what we love to see. The teamwork in this league is absolutely brilliant. It's harmonious at times. And Marcel, though, given his pace this weekend, he's really struggled, and I don't think he'd be able to get past even with raw pace, as Little goes past Tokchenay for P9.
Yes, honestly, Charlie, I think he seriously tried to keep up with his teammate there, realized he isn't able to do so, and then just changed his plan.
Well, Marcel falls from 3rd to 5th now, as Skyscope goes up to 4th.
And
that's obviously a massive overtake there for Skyscap as well. So the two TRL rivals go to war again in next gen. Ryu fighting for nothing, Skyscap fighting for the bare minimum of his championship hopes going to the final race. What will Charlie do now? Ryu will go to the outside, has a small lock of the rears. Skyscap will go to the inside, will translate to the outside. Gets into 3rd position and goes around the outside of Charlie. And what a move that is!
Skyscap, amazing move down there.
Here comes Charlie though.
Ryan passed Marcel there.
Charlie fights back but can't get the move done. Skyscap does run deep. Charlie will have the good exit. What can he do? We'll take a very tight line. Will back out as Bath Destroyer and Oscar have come together, it looks like. Ryan goes past Ryu Zapu. And Ryan then falls back to 5th as Ryu gets past him again.
Oh, there's contact, and it's...
Yeah, there is, and Marcel's round. And that should be a safety car, you think? Maybe not. But Ryan, contact with, oh dear! That has to be a safety car, surely, and it is, safety car again.
As honestly, I don't know what WTF, I think WTF just, he missed his braking point there coming down inside, and it's Ryan now crashing into the Europol. The Europol of Oscar crashing into Ryan there. Ryan got another 5-second time penalty. He got one early as well for something I doubt he's responsible for.
Well, that will probably be removed if he does appeal it.
Yeah.
And the eventuality is here that it might be 4 or indeed 5 racing laps to the end. But given how the last few laps have gone in this race, we probably won't even get that. Yasko will piss. Skyscap will stay out. So Skyscap will have to defend this lead. He needs to gain 17 points on Yasko to take this to the final race. And he is now gaining those points now. Somehow, this title fight, if Yasko has a poor restart, might go to the wire, and Skyscap will pray it will.
Yeah, as Ryan, I think he just got caught up by someone else there, and then got caught up by someone else trying to get back on the track. Twice in a row, his luck is totally turned around there.
So currently, Skyscap is on 26 points. Yasko is on 6, so Skyscap would be gaining 20 points, which would take the fight to the last race. Well, would be now, would be now, obviously, with the live championship. This would take the race to the final Grand Prix of the season. It would be 23 points, though, between Yasko and Skyscap, if my maths is right, which would make it pretty much a formality for Yasko. Skyscap will have to win the British Grand Prix next weekend. But anything could still happen here. Yeah. Yasko, all he needs to do is to get into 5th place here. Could it happen to him? Could Skyscap bring this to Silverstone?
I think he is a driver who would be able to, but honestly, when it comes down to Silverstone, he's still got, like, almost no chance there. But
let's also not forget, though, that depending on what Nikon does in this restart, if Nikon gets into 2nd, then he also brings the fight to the last race as well.
Yeah, both with a small chance, but you
Yeah.
know, it's something.
Nikon will have a decent enough chance as well at that.
Yeah.
Of course, Yasko would still be the overwhelming favourite, and probably is the overwhelming favourite to go on and win it here tonight. He only needs to make 2 overtakes. The safety car will go around again. So it's only going to be 3 laps.
Yeah.
And
well,
on the last lap, DRS will be enabled, so anything could still happen here.
Yes, Ryan's got a penalty, of course we know that, and he's all the way back downhill soft, but he has to fight through so many traffic. And if we're gonna be real honest, I mean, yes, cause of it, we know it's harder to get past some drivers because they tend to have more collisions than other drivers. That's just a given fact. And
I'm pretty sure that, I'm sorry Tim, but I'm pretty sure that Yasko wouldn't care if his 100% podium record would go to waste tonight. Of course, 5th, as we said, would be enough, regardless of what Skyscap would do. So if Skyscap won this race with the fast lap, all Yasko has to do is gain 2 more positions on the restart. But that will be hard. He has to get past a pretty feisty Tokchane and an even feistier Litwa, who's trying to defend that Constructors' Championship lead for Europol.
and honestly, I just realized Charlie is still in 2nd, so I think he'll just hold up like everyone from 3rd to 6th, and then it's just an easy overtake opportunities for Yasko there on the fresher tyre.
Into the endgame now. We'll have 3 laps of racing most likely. We should have 3 laps of racing regardless, I think,
Yeah, the safety
of
car
who is
will
left behind. Yeah.
come in for sure because game mechanics. I think.
Yay. That's something they do need to change though in future F1 games.
Just finish behind the safety car should be a possibility.
Or have 1-lap shootouts, because if it were a 1-lap shootout, Yasko would have a very tough time with it.
Yeah, but one lap shooters. No, then I'd prefer the 3 laps to be honest.
Fair enough.
Because then you've got like a decent chance. Otherwise, we're just gonna get Abu Dhabi 2021's
Exactly.
left, right, and center, and you don't basically want so many controversies.
Well, what will happen? Safety car will come in at the end of the lap, and it will be 3 racing laps, regardless of what happens to the end here in Vegas. Skyscap leads the way. We said he needed a miracle. That miracle is coming true as it stands. Charlie's in 2nd. What could Charlie do? Ryo will surely let his teammate pass. Lit was in 5th in the Europol. He needs to defend their lead in the Constructors' Championship. Tokchane's in 6th. And they are the men in front of Yasko Kirill at the moment in the Ducati. 3 laps to the line in Vegas. Skyscap will lead us away. When will he decide to go to full throttle? And when will we get back to green flag racing? He is slowing down. He revs the throttle and he is away. It's a great restart from Skyscap, who's left Charlie for dead here. Ryu has also had a poor restart, and so has Nikon. What will RUF T-Mobile do here? Ryu surely has to let his teammate pass, and then back Yasko into Litwa and Tokchane. But it's the perfect restart from Skyscap, as Yasko is already past Tokchane. Into the wall! Yasko into the wall! Oh my good god! And the championship will go to Silverstone!
There is no chance he's coming back from this now. As it will be taken to Silverstone unless something will happen with the drivers ahead, and I doubt that will happen. It's quite unlucky. I think Jasko's not really to blame. He got caught up there, I think.
I was thinking this could happen, and it certainly has happened. Skyscap is now surely going to win this race. Nikon's going to be in it come Silverstone, and so is Oscar. What an ending to this race it is, and Yasko's championship hopes have taken a blow, but of course he would still be the favourite. But did you see what happened, Tim?
I honestly did not quite catch how it happened. I just saw him going into the wall with Tokchane there.
What on earth is happening? Skyscap will have obviously seen Yasko going down the order. He knows that he should have done enough now. Nikon probably needs to get into 2nd. Will his teammate help him? You'd like to think so. Does Charlie have the pace to stay in 2nd position? That's the big question as well. So Skyscap will have 2 laps to the line to defend a 1.5-tenth lead and to bring this title fight to the last race of the season. And as it stands, we would have a 4-way battle for the World Championship on D-Day, on the final race of the season. And what a treat that's going to be, Tim.
That will be lovely to see. We've got a massive favourite from that race, but anything can happen. It's one race only. It's not. It will break everything open as we see. Jaska's already closing in big time there on Bart Destroyer, but it's still 2 seconds 1.5
Yeah, of
hours
course.
now,
To eliminate Oscar from the championship, Yasko would have to finish in P9. He'd have to get past Bath Destroyer, and would have to face the equally tough challenge of getting past Ryan. But he is doing that at the moment, of course, with penalties. So if Yasko does get past Bath Destroyer, Oscar will be knocked out of the championship fight. And that will be especially heartbreaking for the man in the Europol car, though. But I did say before the one of the restarts, as Bath Destroyer is a huge moment there, I did say before one of the restarts, though, that Yasko hasn't had bad luck this season. He's rode the crest of it. The commentator's curse has now come into play, and Yasko is now languishing at the back.
Yeah, just I mean, he has to get past Bath Destroyer, catch up. He's not gonna. I doubt he's even gonna. Yeah, he might make 1 point, but that's about it.
And he will. No, he's going to make 2 because he's going to get past Ryan because of penalties. Unless that one's removed, of course, depending on what happens. Oh, Oscar's out! Oscar's spun! It won't matter what happens! Because Oscar's spun in a straight, and Nikon's into second.
Nico's in the second. Oscar spun the straight. Oscar's out of the championship now.
Yeah, officially now. He's not going to get back into this.
There's some...
Litwa! Yasko as well. Yasko gets past. So Yasko makes contact with Makan and with Litwa, is now into 7th. Well, nearly into 7th.
Way up to 5th now.
Yeah. Yasko down to 9th, nearly hits the wall. Yasko up to 7th. And Bath Destroyer's out.
Chaotic last lap this is. Well,
so as it stands, Tim, Yasko is on...
The Europol's stuck together.
Yeah, again. So as it stands, Ryu's past Nikon. Ryu has disregarded the team game here, and Nikon's out of the championship fight now. What on earth is going on?
Well, I honestly don't know why Ryu is doing. I mean, of course Nikon has got a small chance, but you'd say he'd grab it with both hands, and the team is.
So basically, Yasko is on 6 points, Nikon's now on 15. But Nikon will be in this championship fight, and he now has to get past his teammate on the straight.
Yeah.
Because Ryu now is being a selfish little geezer, and has gone past his teammate, but might well let him past here, because this isn't Ryu. This is not Ryu Zappu. Here comes Nikon, will get past, and will bring the title fight up from 2 contenders to 3 contenders, unless Yasko gets past Marcel in the final lap, which isn't very likely. So into the chicane comes Skyscap. We said he needed a miracle, and he has got it. That's 1 contender locked in the championship fight comes Silverstone, and he's waving. He knows he's done enough. It's an outside fight. It's an outside chance of the title. But Skyscap will win, and Skyscap brings it to Silverstone. Nikon finishes 2nd. That's 2 contenders. Ryu finishes in 3rd. A brilliant debut race for him. Ryan's in 4th, but will be degraded down to 5th. Yasko's into 5th.
He's in 7th.
So Yasko, yeah, 2 contenders. Skyscap, wait, hold on. No, it's over. It's over. Yasko's world champion. It's over.
Well, he is currently world champion.
It's over.
The thing is, we've got penalties that might get removed.
Yeah, we do.
Because loads of chaos have loads of penalties were handed out. So I doubt he has it.
Yeah. So I'd say Ryan's penalty would be removed, but as it stands, Yasko is world champion. Don't take our word for it yet. Wait until the penalties come out. But Yasko has done enough, despite the Skyscap miracle, and despite the late Nikon heroics. As it stands, Yasko is world champion. But there is still a lot of drama to be sifted through, Tim.
Yeah.
Race results then. Skyscap with a simply sensational victory. He needed this one. As it stands, it means diddly squat though. He needed 17 points, he got 16 in the end. Nikon finishes 2nd with Ryu in 3rd. Marcel in 4th position. Yasko down from 3rd to 5th. His first non-podium finish of the season. Charlie finishes in 6th. Ryan in 7th. Oscar, Marcus and Lit will round out the top 10. Our DNFs were Bath Destroyer, Tokchine, Artem and Cuba. But goodness sake, Tim. What's going on?
Yeah. It was so random. I mean, but Skyscap, he has done all he can now this race.
Yeah.
We know that Nikon has done quite a lot, and it just depends on penalties. I mean, we know that there were some penalties, so it's got a 1 second time penalty for Ryan and for Marcus, and I don't know how they got those, and whether they tried to get them removed.
So the drama will now begin, the penalties will now pile up, the decisions will be made. but we can call it now. It's not official, but if these race results were to stand, Yasko has just about done enough. Tim, are the tickets piling in? What's happening?
Currently they're on... Currently there are just 2 tickets, 1 penalty for collision and 1 penalty removal. That's about it as we stand.
And we will see what happens. 46 minutes, 2 seconds and 5/10 of a second for Skyscap to win the race. He thought he'd done enough, but he might well done have. This is a very confusing time. We haven't won the championship on track yet. We have, but we might not be able to decide it on track depending where penalties go. It's very confusing.
Yeah, as there will be professional results out, but even those are doubtful.
Yeah, exactly. So you heard it here first. Provisionally, Yasko is champion.
And you
At the
probably
moment,
have to
though,
be in the Discord server or wait until next week to...
yeah,
actually
exactly.
know
Yeah. This Doctor Who cliffhanger here. This is ridiculous. So, essentially, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. What we do know, though, is our confirmations that Skyscap has definitely won the race. I'm sure of that. Skyscap has won the race and has done enough to bring it to the last race, depending on what happens with penalties.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Tim, what do you think is going to happen, then?
I think it will go to a last race between the Nikon, Yasko, and...
So if Ryan's
Skyscap.
second time penalty were removed, he would finish in 4th position, which would demote Yasko down to 6th, which would mean it would be 26 against 8 points. And do the maths with that. That's an 18-point gap. Which means that Skyscap has outscored Yasko if it were to finish like that, if penalties were happening.
And how will it be then for Nikon?
Nikon would finish 2nd then on 18 against 8. Nikon would be out of it.
Nikon, I mean, Nikon will likely then be out of it, no matter what.
Yeah, but then there's of course what happened with Yasko's incident. So Yasko might get penalised for his incident, which means he dropped further down the field, and we would have a three-way fight. This is about as confusing as the NASCAR playoff system.
It's not confusing. Am I the only one who finds the NASCAR playoff system not confusing? I literally heard everyone complain about it.
Yeah, we don't like the playoff system.
I like
we
it.
don't. We don't. I don't know why I said, oh yeah. I think simple enough, but the way it's executed is pretty bad. So, we've 1 race left. There's still a load of controversy surrounding this championship, but as it stands, we can say that Yasko is champion. Final thoughts, Tim?
I think loads of shit happens. I don't know. Do we want to do interviews or not?
Should we? I don't think we should, seeing as the entire thing's so up in the air.
It's too chaotic. It's too
the entire thing's too up in the air.
I mean, I honestly hope next week will not be that chaotic, because we cannot do one championship final deciding interviews.
We want a good race. That's all we need in Silverstone. But what we don't want is a repeat of tonight, which is just utter and pure chaotic chaos. Thank you very much, Tim, for joining me this evening. It's always a blast.
Yeah, it was fun. It was exciting and confusing.
Confusing is the word I describe it with, certainly, but what a race that was. 46 minutes, 0.2 of a second, and 0.5 as well. Skyscap winning the race with Nikon in 2nd position. Nikon thought he'd done enough to get into that final Championship 3. As it stands, he hasn't. Skyscap thought he'd done enough. At the moment, he hasn't. As it stands, Yasko is the champion, but penalties will surely be applied. We might go to the final race. We don't know, but we will be back same time next week. It will be the final race of the season, the final Grand Prix on F123 for the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. Thank you very much for watching us this evening, and we hope that you will be with us next week as well. Congratulations to Skyscap, and perhaps an early congratulations to Yasko, as the championship fight has been decided for now, but still, this story has a very long way.